Brock Lesnar was spotted where? With WHO. Family, if you're just seeing this, you need to stop everything you're doing right now because we're about to break down the most shocking backstage sighting in WWE history. The Beast incarnate, Jacob Fatu, and Paul Heyman were seen together at Monday Night Raw, and the wrestling world is losing its mind. What's going on? Wrestlingverse family, and welcome to the most explosive breaking news story of the year. Hit that like button right now, smash subscribe, and destroy that notification bell because Wrestlingverse CC is breaking down this massive story with every detail, every theory, and every implication. Drop a comment telling me what you think this alliance means. Let's dive into this absolute bombshell. Family, what happened backstage at WWE Raw was not supposed to be seen by fans. This wasn't an official segment, this wasn't planned television, this was a behind-the-scenes moment that leaked through various sources, and now the entire wrestling world is buzzing with speculation. The image of Brock Lesnar, Jacob Fatu, and Paul Heyman standing together in deep conversation has created more questions than answers, and we're going to explore every single possibility. Let me set the scene for you, family. According to multiple reports from people backstage at Raw, Brock Lesnar arrived at the arena earlier than usual. Now, Brock doesn't show up to WWE events often these days, he's selective about his appearances, so the fact that he was there at all was noteworthy. But what really caught everyone's attention was that Brock didn't go to his usual private area, didn't isolate himself like he typically does. Instead, he was spotted in a secluded corridor having what appeared to be a very serious conversation. And who was with him, family? Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf himself. The most dominant member of the new generation Anoa family, the man who has been absolutely destroying everyone in his path since arriving in WWE. Jacob was standing there with Brock, both men clearly engaged in intense discussion, their body language suggesting this wasn't a casual encounter. The two powerhouses were clearly talking about something important. But wait, it gets even more interesting, family. Paul Heyman was there too. The wise man, the greatest advocate in sports entertainment history, the man who has managed Brock Lesnar for years and knows the Beast better than anyone. Heyman was gesturing animatedly, clearly pitching something, explaining something, trying to convey information to both Brock and Jacob. Whatever Heyman was saying, both men were listening intently. Now family, let's talk about why this sighting is absolutely earth-shattering. First, Brock Lesnar showing up unannounced is always major news. Brock operates on his own schedule, he's not a regular on weekly television, and when he appears, it always means something significant is about to happen. The fact that he was there, having this private meeting, tells us that WWE has something massive planned. Second, Jacob Fatu represents the future of WWE, family. This man is a genetic specimen, combining the legendary Anoa family athleticism with modern powerhouse capabilities. Jacob has been aligned with various factions and family members, but seeing him in private discussion with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman suggests something much bigger is on the horizon. This isn't a casual backstage greeting, this is strategic planning. And third, Paul Heyman's involvement makes this infinitely more intriguing, family. Heyman doesn't waste time on small matters, he's always thinking big picture, always planning the next major angle. The fact that Heyman brought Brock and Jacob together for this conversation means he has a vision, he has a plan, and that plan is going to change WWE in a major way. Let's break down the possible scenarios, family. Theory number 1. Paul Heyman is building a new faction. Think about it. Heyman has managed legendary groups before, he understands the power of combining elite talents under one banner. A faction led by Brock Lesnar and Jacob Fatu with Paul Heyman as the strategic mastermind would be absolutely unstoppable. These are two of the most physically dominant wrestlers in WWE, both capable of destroying entire rosters by themselves. Together, they would be a force unlike anything WWE has ever seen. Theory number 2. Family. This could be about Brock mentoring Jacob. Brock has experience that few wrestlers can match. He's competed at the highest levels of both WWE and legitimate combat sports. Jacob, despite his incredible talent and family lineage, is still relatively new to the WWE main roster. Could Paul Heyman be facilitating a mentor-student relationship between these two monsters? Imagine Jacob Fatu learning from Brock Lesnar, adopting Brock's intensity and Heyman's strategic thinking. That would accelerate Jacob's rise to the absolute top of WWE. Theory number 3 is even more explosive. Family. What if this meeting was about forming an alliance to take down a common enemy? The wrestling landscape is full of powerful factions right now. The Bloodline, various other groups competing for dominance. Perhaps Brock, Jacob, and Heyman are uniting because there's a threat that requires their combined power to overcome. This could be setting up the ultimate faction warfare storyline. Let's consider the Bloodline angle specifically. Family. Jacob Fatu has complicated relationships within his family. Solo Sikoa recently took over leadership of the Bloodline, Roman Reigns was deposed, and the entire family dynamic is in flux. Could Jacob be breaking away from the Bloodline entirely? Could Brock and Heyman be offering him a better opportunity, a chance to establish himself as more than just another member of the Anoa'i family? This would create incredible drama and set up massive matches. Think about the match possibilities here, family. Brock Lesnar and Jacob Fatu as a tag team would be absolutely devastating. Can you imagine these two monsters working together, combining Brock's suplex city mentality with Jacob's high-flying power moves? They would demolish any tag team WWE could put against them. Or picture them in a trios match with Heyman's strategy guiding them, 3 against any combination WWE could assemble. But there's also the singles match potential, family. What if this alliance eventually breaks down? What if Brock and Jacob end up competing against each other for supremacy? The Beast Incarnate versus the Samoan Werewolf would be a dream match of epic proportions. 2 different generations of dominance, 2 different styles of destruction, colliding in what could be one of the greatest big man matches in WWE history. The Paul Heyman factor cannot be understated, family. Heyman's presence in this equation adds layers of intrigue and unpredictability. Heyman is loyal to success, he aligns with whoever he believes can reach the top. Right now, he clearly believes that Brock and Jacob together represent the path to ultimate power in WWE. But Heyman also has a history of playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. Is there a deeper game being played here? Consider how this affects other WWE superstars, family. Every champion needs to be worried right now. If Brock Lesnar and Jacob Fatu are forming an alliance with Heyman's guidance, then every title in WWE is suddenly in jeopardy. The World Heavyweight Champion, the United States Champion, anyone holding gold needs to be looking over their shoulder because this alliance represents a threat to everyone. The Bloodline's response to this will be fascinating, family. Solo Sikoa as the new tribal chief claims to lead the family, but if Jacob is aligning with Brock and Heyman instead, that's a direct challenge to Solo's authority. The Usos will have opinions about this. Roman Reigns, even though he's been deposed, will certainly have something to say about a family member going outside the Bloodline structure. This creates so many potential confrontations and dramatic moments. Let's talk about the promo potential, family. Imagine Brock Lesnar, Jacob Fatu, and Paul Heyman coming out together for the first time on live television. Heyman on the microphone delivering one of his legendary promos, explaining why this alliance was formed, laying out their intentions to dominate WWE. Brock standing there with his intense presence, and Jacob beside him looking like an absolute beast. The visual alone would be iconic, but combined with Heyman's words, it would be earth-shattering. The business implications are huge, family. Brock Lesnar appearances always spike ratings and generate mainstream attention. Jacob Fatu is one of WWE's rising stars with massive potential. Paul Heyman is one of the most recognizable figures in wrestling history. Combining all 3 creates a marketable unit that WWE can build around, promote heavily, and use to draw massive audiences. This is smart business on multiple levels. From a creative standpoint, this gives WWE fresh storylines, family. Rather than running back the same feuds and angles, this alliance opens up entirely new directions. It creates unexpected matchups, surprising team combinations, and unpredictable outcomes. That unpredictability is what keeps fans invested and excited about WWE programming. The social media reaction to this Backstage sighting has been absolutely insane, family. Wrestling fans and media outlets are posting theories, creating fantasy booking scenarios, debating what this means for WWE's future. The speculation is at fever pitch, and that's exactly what WWE wants. Whether this was an intentional leak or an accidental exposure, it has generated massive buzz and anticipation. There's also the possibility this was strategic information release, family. WWE might have allowed this backstage moment to leak specifically to gauge fan reaction and build anticipation. Modern wrestling companies understand the value of viral moments and fan speculation. If this was planned, it's brilliant marketing that has everyone talking about WWE. Let's consider the timeline, family. When will we see this alliance officially revealed? Will it happen on an upcoming Raw or SmackDown? Could WWE be saving this for a premium live event? The Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, or even WrestleMania would be perfect stages to unveil this faction. The bigger the stage, the bigger the impact. The training and preparation aspect is interesting too, family. If Brock is indeed mentoring Jacob, we might see Jacob adopt some of Brock's trademark intensity and approach. Jacob already has incredible athletic ability, but adding Brock's experience and Heyman's strategic thinking could transform him into an even more complete performer. The evolution of Jacob Fatu under their guidance would be must-see television. For longtime wrestling fans, this alliance connects to wrestling history, family. Paul Heyman has managed legendary talents throughout his career. Seeing him potentially orchestrate the pairing of Brock Lesnar and Jacob Fatu continues that legacy while creating something entirely new. It's respecting the past while building the future. The question of leadership within this potential alliance is intriguing, family. Would Brock be the leader by virtue of his experience and accomplishments? Would Jacob have equal footing? Would Heyman be the puppet master pulling all the strings? The power dynamics would create interesting storytelling opportunities and potential internal conflicts down the line. Wrestling vs. Family. The backstage sighting of Brock Lesnar, Jacob Fatu, and Paul Heyman together at WWE Raw is potentially the beginning of something massive. Whether this becomes a dominant faction, a mentorship situation, or something entirely unexpected, one thing is certain: WWE has our attention. The combination of these three individuals represents power, strategy, and unlimited potential. The wrestling world is watching and waiting to see what happens next. What do you think this alliance means, family? Are you excited to see Brock and Jacob working together? What should they be called? What matches do you want to see? Who should they target first? Drop all your theories and predictions in the comments. I want to hear every single idea. If this breakdown got you hyped about WWE's future, absolutely destroy that like button. Subscribe to Wrestling vs. CC for continued coverage of this developing story. We'll be following every detail as this situation unfolds. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our breaking news coverage. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know. This is the kind of story that changes everything. Follow Wrestling vs. CC on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for updates the moment new information drops. We're your source for breaking wrestling news. Thank you for watching Wrestling vs. Family. Your support means everything. I'll catch you in the next video where we'll have more updates on this massive story. Until then, acknowledge the beast, respect the werewolf, and trust the wise man. Peace out, family.